Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's January 12th, 2023 and Barcelona are very close to signing Ronaldinho Son. Also, the club are very close to signing one of Argentina's biggest footballing jewels, and text messages between Josep Maria Bartomeu and one of his members of his board of directors have been leaked, which showed the disdain that the former board of directors had towards one of the biggest players in the history of Barcelona, Lionel Messi. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we begin with the news that Barcelona have officially qualified to the Spanish Super Cups final after defeating Real Betis through a penalty shootout 2-4 after both Barcelona and Real Betis drew 2-2 during regulation time. Now, Barcelona had a first great half where they had a lot of fluidity, great collective play with lots of fast transitions, fast triangulation, and where Barcelona completely imposed its dominance, controlled the match, and created chance after chance. Now, the Barcelona attack were absolutely brilliant, where for the first time both Dembélé and Rafinha being on the same field worked out, because as you might remember, Xavi used to play both of them on the wings at the beginning of the season. However, this didn't seem to work out because when Rafinha played on the left wing, he didn't perform well because that's not his natural position. And when Rafinha was placed on the right wing and Dembélé was placed on the left, Dembélé did not play as well because Dembélé is also used to playing on the right wing. So Xavi began playing either Rafinha or Dembélé, but never the two at once. And this time Xavi played both of them at the same time, and it seemed to work out, especially with Dembélé, who was absolutely brilliant, creating a lot of danger on the left flank and creating chance after chance. Now, the midfield was also brilliant with Frenkie de Jong doing a great job as the pivot, being very solid defensively and stopping a lot of Real Betis' attacks, and also breaking lines with his long passes and his runs, which then gave the confidence to both Pedri and Gavi to make many successful runs to the box, which helped Barcelona unlock Real Betis' defense even further and help them create more chances. Now, the Barcelona defense was once again superb, just like the match against Atletico de Madrid, where they stopped a lot of chances with Ronald Araujo, Jules Koundé, and Sergi Roberto creating great saves which denied Real Betis from scoring any goals during that first half. And there's of course Marc ter Stegen, who was absolutely brilliant and was the best player on the field for the entire match, who had many key saves that denied Real Betis scoring further goals, and who also stopped two penalty kicks which then helped Barcelona qualify to the Spanish Super Cup final. Now, after Barcelona scored the first goal during the first half, and after it seemed like Barcelona could cruise to an easy victory because they were absolutely dominating the match, they completely lost the control of the match during the second half, and they weren't able to finish the match. And two defensive mistakes allowed Real Betis to score 2 goals, which tied the match and led to the penalty shootout. Now, I don't understand what's happening with Barcelona, why they can't hang on to their leads and why they can't finish matches. Because match after match, we see that Barcelona start out strong, start out scoring goals, start out winning matches, but then they completely lose control of the match, and that's when the opposing team causes Barcelona a lot of damage. So Xavi really needs to examine this, and Barcelona need to come up with a better strategy on how to finish matches, because against stronger opponents, they're not gonna forgive our mistakes and they're gonna score more goals, and we're gonna end up losing matches, which can then lead to dropping points in La Liga race. Now, another thing that I didn't understand during the match is the substitutions, where first of all Xavi took out Ousmane Dembélé, who was the best player on the field at that moment, who was creating a lot of danger, and he went on and put on Ferran Torres, who not only did not contribute anything to the team, but he actually made the team a lot weaker and a lot worse. Now, another substitution that I didn't quite understand was when Xavi took out Frenkie de Jong and put in Sergio Busquets in his place, which I also didn't understand because Frenkie de Jong was doing a brilliant job as a pivot. And when Sergio Busquets came in, he completely slowed down the midfield because unlike Frenkie de Jong, who was breaking lines with his passes and with his runs, Sergio Busquets kept passing the ball back, which slowed down the midfield and prevented Barcelona from creating more danger. And more importantly, it seemed that both Pedri and Gavi didn't feel as comfortable making runs to the box because they probably didn't feel safe leaving Sergio Busquets by himself, which then further deteriorated Barcelona's chance creation. Now, one substitution that I did like was when Ansu Fati came in for Rafinha. And Ansu Fati seemed very different from previous matches. He seemed like he had a lot of confidence, and he scored, of course, that brilliant goal during the extra half, and he also scored his penalty kick. And he also seemed to have a lot of confidence when he was dribbling past players and challenging other players. So hopefully this match will help boost the confidence of Ansu Fati so we can see the old Ansu Fati prior to all of his injuries. Now, despite Barcelona losing control of the match and conceding those 2 goals, Barcelona were able to win through the penalty shootout, where Barcelona scored all 4 penalty kicks that they took, and Ter Stegen was able to stop 2 of the penalty kicks from Real Betis. And now Barcelona will face off against Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup final, which will take place on Sunday, January the 15th. And this is, of course, great for all of us because we're gonna witness one more El Clasico during this season. And this will be Xavi's first chance to win his first trophy with Barcelona. And hopefully they do, not so much because of the trophy itself, because after all, the Spanish Super Cup is not a major trophy. But I think it would be a great boost, morale boost for the team. And I think it could be a turning point for the team who can then feel more confident. And hopefully that would translate into better performances, which would then help Barcelona to compete for La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Europa League. Because we've already seen what it means for a team to win a trophy and the confidence that they can gain from it. A prime example is Argentina, who after they won the Copa America, their confidence, they got a big morale boost and a big confidence boost, which then helped them to win the Finalissima and of course the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Now, I do want to touch on 2 quick things before I move on from this match. The first thing is that offside goal that Pedri scored, where Rafinha made a brilliant center cross to the box, which Pedri scored, but that was ruled offsides because the tip of the boot of Rafinha was in an offside position. And this was the same technology that was used during the World Cup, which is an automatic technology that automatically rules whether a goal is an offside or not without any human intervention. And this technology, of course, had a lot of controversy in the World Cup, especially in that match between Argentina and Saudi Arabia, where the technology ruled 3 of Argentina's goals are offside. And it was later discovered that one of the goals was absolutely legal, but the computer or the AI technology had used the wrong Saudi defender to rule that that goal was offside. Now, the reason why we have offside rules is to level the playing field and to make sure that the team does not gain any unfair advantages. So the question is, did Rafinha gain any advantage from the tip of his boot being offside? And of course, the answer is absolutely not, which makes this call absolutely ridiculous because Rafinha didn't gain any advantage from his boot being offside. So this means that we really need to examine this technology, because technology is supposed to help the sport of football, but in this instance is actually killing the sport. So we need to review this technology, or at least review the rules surrounding offside goals, because there's absolutely no advantage gained from having your tip of your boot or your fingertips or the tip of your hair in an offside position. Now, the second thing I want to touch on real quickly, I did receive some messages through my channel's Instagram account asking why Barcelona were wearing burgundy shorts and socks. And the reason for that is, even though they are playing in Saudi Arabia, Real Betis are considered the home team because they won the Copa del Rey. And since Real Betis have black shorts and black socks, that clashed with Barcelona's dark shorts and dark socks. So the referee requested that Barcelona change their outfit, but Barcelona did not want to change to the second kit because they wanted to promote their first kit in Saudi Arabia. So instead, they opted out for wearing burgundy shorts and burgundy socks. Now on to the news that Barcelona are very close to signing Ronaldinhos Son, João Mendes de Assis Moreira. Now, João Mendes is a 17-year-old attacker who's ambidextrous and who can play as a center forward. And he was previously playing for the Brazilian club Cruzeiro. However, his contract expired and he decided not to renew. And as a result, João Mendes is now a free agent. Now, it's reported that João Mendes tried out for Cruzeiro when he was 14 years of old. And when he presented himself to the tryout, he hid his identity and didn't reveal that he was the son of Ronaldinho because he didn't want to be chosen for the fact that his father is Ronaldinho. And it seemed that Cruzeiro chose to sign João Mendes, not because of his father, but because his talent, and a lot of footballing scouts are saying that João Mendes has a lot of promise and could be one of the biggest things to come out of Brazil. Now, João Mendes is currently in the city of Barcelona trying out for the Barcelona under-19 team, or the Juvenil A, and it's reported that if the coaches are impressed with his performance, then Barcelona will proceed to sign him. Now, Jean Laporta is handling these negotiations himself, and he's in direct contact with Ronaldinho Gaucho, but he has said that the decision to sign the player will be strictly left up to the coaches. But hopefully, Barcelona can sign this player, because if he has half the talent of what his father had, then this will be a huge boost for the club. I also think that this is the kind of risks that Barcelona need to make, because after all, João Mendes is very young, he has a lot of promise, and he would be signing for free. So if he does end up working out, then Barcelona will be signing a future star for free. And if it doesn't work out, then Barcelona didn't spend any money, and there's no damage done from signing him. Now, speaking of young talent, it's reported that Barcelona are very close to signing one of Argentina's biggest footballing jewels, Lucas Roman. Now, Lucas Roman is an 18-year-old attacker who's described as a versatile attacker who can play as a center forward or on the right wing, and he currently plays for the second division team, Ferrocarril del Oeste. Now, Barcelona are very close to taking Roman Lucas on loan for the remainder of the season, and this will be a free loan, so Barcelona would not have to pay any fees. And the contract of the player expires at the end of the year in December. So if he does end up working out, then Barcelona would try to sign him on a permanent basis. Now, Lucas de Roman, the Barcelona are looking to sign Lucas de Roman for the Barca Athletic team. And it's reported that he is one of the biggest jewels in Argentinian football. And many of the first division teams are already after him, trying to sign him, such as Boca Juniors and River Plate. Now, speaking of signings, as I reported previously, Barcelona are looking to sign Benjamin Pavard to reinforce the right back position. It's now being reported that Real Madrid have entered the race, and they're looking to beat Barcelona to the signing of the French defender. Now, Real Madrid are in the market for a right back, given that Dani Carvajal has been having a lot of physical problems, and Lucas Vázquez is not someone that has the trust of the club. So Real Madrid are now looking to sign Benjamin Pavard, try to beat Barcelona to the signing of Benjamin Pavard, who's looking to leave Bayern Munich before his contract expires this summer 2023. Now, on to the news that Dortmund has given Barcelona a boost in their hopes to try to sign Youssoufa Moukoko. Now, as reported previously, Moukoko's contract will expire with Dortmund in the summer of 2023, and that's when Barcelona are hoping to sign him as a free agent. But of course, Dortmund are looking to extend his contract so they can cash in on his transfer in the future. Now, Moukoko so far has rejected several renewal offers from Dortmund, and Dortmund CEO has now said, if the ideas of both sides are not on the same page, Youssoufa won't continue with us. This is ultimate stage. This could happen, but of course, we hope that Moukoko stays with us. So it seems that Dortmund CEO is saying that the club and the player are still not on the same page, and this will be the ultimate phase. So if they can't agree on the same terms, that the negotiations will fall, and that's when Barcelona will be ready to swoop in and sign the young German star in the summer free of charge. Now, on to the news that WhatsApp text messages between Josep Maria Bartomeu and Roman Gomez Ponti have been leaked, which showed the disdain that the previous Barcelona board of directors had against the biggest player in the history of the club, Lionel Messi. Now, as you might recall, when Josep Maria Bartomeu was president of the club, the contract of Lionel Messi was leaked to the press, which caused a lot of outrage, and that's of course something illegal. And in the discussion of the leak of the contract between Josep Maria Bartomeu and the former head of the Barcelona Legal Services, Roman Gomez Ponti, these text messages were leaked, which showed the absolute disdain that these two had against Messi. Now, in these text messages, Roman Gomez Ponti is talking about Lionel Messi, and in talking about him, he says, Barto, honestly, you can't be such a good person with this sewer rat. The club gave him everything, and he has dedicated himself to dictating signings, transfers, renewals, sponsors just for him, etc. I can never do it, but to the figures in the contract, you also have to add Pinto, Suarez's renewal, Jordi Alba's, and the commission for Ansu Fati's renewal, Rodrigo Messi, agent. But if he doesn't know how to even read and his partner is a drug dealer, and above all, the accumulation of blackmail and rudeness that the club and those of us who worked at the club have suffered from this hormonal dwarf, who owes Barca his life. But when bad things happen, this pandemic, you received a legendary message on WhatsApp. Prezi, drop everyone else's salary, but don't touch mine or Suarez's. I hope he leaves to indifference, which is the worst thing that could happen to him. Another money grabber. Now Bartomeu answers, yes, I agree on many things, but Barca comes first, and this type of article hurts the club's message. Now these text messages are absolutely outrageous, and they show the disdain that the board of directors had against Lionel Messi by calling him a sewer rat and a hormonal dwarf. And these text messages are absolutely disgusting, and you can see why Lionel Messi wanted to leave the club. Now this text messages also reveal something interesting, because in them, Gomez Ponti is saying that Lionel Messi had asked that the club reduce the salary of all players except his and Suarez's. But of course, we don't know if this is a true statement. But nonetheless, it's very interesting that this is something very interesting that's being revealed in this text messages. And I'm sure that we are gonna hear about it more in the future, especially with all the lawsuits right now surrounding Josep Maria Bartomeu and several members of the pressed board of directors. Now we will end today's video with the news that Memphis Depay is now in favor of leaving to Atletico de Madrid. Now, as I reported previously, with Joao Felix leaving to Chelsea on loan for the remainder of the season, Atletico de Madrid are now looking for a replacement for Joao Felix, and they have chosen a Dutch forward, Memphis Depay. Now, Barcelona are currently negotiating with Atletico de Madrid the loan of the player for the remainder of the season, and Barcelona are in favor of this move because they would be removing Depay's salary off their books, and they are also looking to make a transfer fee from the loan of Depay. Well, it's now being reported that Depay is in favor of moving to Atletico de Madrid, and this is of course a change of opinion because Depay had the chance of joining Atletico Madrid this past summer, but he refused because he wanted to leave to a better or a similar project as Barcelona, and he considered that Atletico de Madrid move would be a downgrade for his career. Well, now with the player on board, we'll see whether Barcelona will be able to reach an agreement with Atletico de Madrid for the loan of the player, because after all, Barcelona are looking to make a transfer fee, and Atletico Madrid are reportedly not willing to pay for this loan, and they're only willing to cover the salary of the player. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news regards our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.